Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my review for the 28th volume of the Walking Dead comic book series, A Certain Doom. And spoiler warning, if you guys have not read this volume yet for the Walking Dead comic book series, volume 28, A Certain Doom. So definitely want to do a review for this one, and eventually I'll be doing a review for the Here's Negan release. Maybe I'll buy that after this, actually order that, and then next week when I get it, or the week after, we'll do a volume review for the Here's Negan one, because that one's a lot of fun. And if you guys don't know, this is the way I collect Walking Dead comic books series. I don't really collect the first print issue by issue. It's too hard to keep up for me. And they get really expensive if you go back to buy some of the older ones that are first prints, releases of the issues. Also, I like to read it in this format because you get quite a bit, and so you don't have to swap books so often, and you get quite a bit of the story in one, as well as I like the way the covers go, and use them for the backdrop as they kind of go through. So if you don't know, I have reviewed every single volume of The Walking Dead up to this release, up to 28. So that includes the prior release, which is the Whisperer War, which was a big one. So really enjoyed this one a lot. You can see on the cover here, Beta versus Negan, which is really cool. So that one was fun. So where this one leaves off, this one, of course, picks up its issues 163 through 168 for A Certain Doom. And pretty much what it is after the events of the Whisperer War, where Beta and the Whisperers send the zombie herd towards Alexandria. They pretty much leave it go. So this is what the herd looks like. So the closest thing I can think of it in Walking Dead television series is basically like the mega zombie herd that Daryl and Rick and the others led away from Alexandria, where part of it reached Alexandria and no way out. This is more like a bigger chunk of that, so thousands and thousands of zombies are headed towards it, like a whole flood or a whole sea, as far as you can see, of zombies are headed straight for Alexandria. So it's exciting, very exciting. Even though we have kind of seen it before with No Way Out, this is kind of like the biggest, zombie herd in the comic book series we've ever seen. So it's really crazy. I don't know the exact count, but like tons and tons and tons. It's just like a sea of zombies that flood in. So this one's kind of cool, where you think the gate might be able to hold them, but what actually happens is the ones at the front, the zombies at the front, actually get crushed into the gate because of all the ones behind them pushing them forward. So like a tidal wave, they kind of come up to the gates here, and I know you can't see it all that well on my camera with the lighting and everything, but basically they get crushed in from the ones behind them pushing forward through the gate. So it's not like the guys can go up to the gate and just stabbity stab in the heads and put the zombies down as they get stuck against the gate. They try that, but actually the gate gets actually just crushed down, and then it ends up coming down, and the zombies start kind of coming through. And again, very similar to like No Way Out, like a No Way Out 2.0, which is even bigger. There's the gate going down right there. And then you have Rick, who says, "Everyone get back, run." You have a few of them, or at least one, or let's see, I'm trying to figure out how many here that actually get killed. But you've got them coming in, and it's kind of cool because you have Rick there, but then you have Negan as well too. So I like that as well too. So it's, even though it is like No Way Out, of course, because you have Negan there, and the set of circumstances is different, that it's fresh enough, it's original enough that it's still exciting. And you have a couple, Paula, who gets smoked here, who we don't really know Paula too much anyway. Like it's kind of like a red shirt death, but it's still, it's there, whatever. And then we have a part here which is pretty interesting, where, and again, like I said, eventual spoilers for the TV series, they do the same thing. Rick's body is not the best as it used to be, so Rick kind of goes down as the herd is chasing him, and actually Negan saves him with a butcher knife kill right here. And again, sorry guys for my lighting, I know you can't see it all that well, but Negan saves him, and then they kind of run off. While this is happening, you have the Saviors, of course minus Negan, so the comic book Saviors at this time, led by Sherry and John, and they're basically watching and kind of laughing and just having a good old time while this zombie herd crushes into Alexandria. Is basically, they're thinking, oh, everybody there's dead. There's no way out for any of them. They're all dead. Second, another time here, Negan saves Rick again by letting him into this house when Rick is screaming there. and Negan allows him to come in, leaves the door, and then says, "Come on," pulls him inside, and slams the door shut. As we see, just another huge section. This is all zombies all around here, right? So just flooding in absolutely everywhere while they're just stuck inside the houses. So really just exciting stuff as far as the horror goes and the zombies go and everything like that. You have Andrea and some of the others that are outside, so they're pulling a lot of the zombies away, which is also pretty exciting. And you're thinking, okay, this is going to work. She's got a blowhorn, stuff like that, and a lot of the zombies are being taken away from them by so out of Alexandria by those that are making noise outside. The zombies run out of food. The gunfire goes off outside. They make a lot of noise. Andrea and the others, and they basically pull them away. So we have that. We got Negan and Rick that share some, some important, I think, pieces of dialogue for each of them. Negan reflects a bit on some of the things that he did that he's not proud of, and he's got a long list of those. Here's some of the zombies that are being kind of pulled by the ones on horseback, Eugene, Andrea, and the others, over a cliff. So it's a good strategy. You don't have to kill them all off. You just reroute them towards a cliff, and they all just walk over and fall off. At the same time here, we get these saviors coming in and kind of killing off some of them, but we just don't know their intentions 100%. It seems like the saviors want to try to take over, so they're just kind of lying in wait there to see how this whole thing will play out. And the biggest thing of this trade for sure has to be Andrea right here. Like I said, spoiler warning, getting bitten. So that's a huge one in the series. It pretty much is, I want to say, the biggest character death in The Walking Dead, period, and it's by kind of just a random zombie. So it's just she just gets bitten, saving Alexandria, getting all these zombies away from them. So that's what it is. So it's really sad later on, of course, in the issue. We have some stuff here with Sherry and the others that kind of come into this, and Rick, actually another pretty big character death where Sherry attacks Rick, and right here she's going at him with a knife. And Rick is able to defend himself because he's still, pretty strong and everything. And he pushes her off of him, but that snaps her neck in the process. So, and then he basically says, Sherry, he's all worried and stuff. Andrea walks in, and Rick finds out that Andrea has been bitten, and then she's going to die. And he screams, "Somebody help me!" So Sherry dead as well too, and Dwight's all upset because, of course, they're past their history. And then you have the part here at the end, which we won't go into too much, but basically everybody gets to say their goodbyes to Andrea. Andrea eventually does die, and then Rick waits till, I want to say, like the very last moment, and debates on whether or not he can do it, and then in the end is able to simply do it with a knife. And then kind of sits there. Here's a splash page right here where he's kind of covering his face and everything, and it's really, really sad. So it is some of the saddest stuff, and we've got kind of a memorial burial service here, that kind of thing, with everybody around, and just really sad part, everybody holding each other, everyone putting their hands on their shoulders, which is kind of beautiful to see after one of, definitely the biggest deaths in the entire series. So there's still much to do, so they have to go on, they have to move forward, and they do. Rick tells the saviors that Sherry is dead. Negan steps in and says, "Let me handle this," so I like that, that's fun. And pretty much lets them know that this is not the way you want to go, and they actually do, kind of back off, so to speak. So it's what it is, and the saviors go back. Negan gives Rick his condolences, so do the others, and then Rick goes to sleep at the end on Andrea's grave. So it's definitely a volume or a part of the story that I think was pretty unexpected. I feel like lately, with regards to The Walking Dead, it's been more unpredictable than anything. Like if you think about the story in terms of having like a nice story, a lot of it's unpredictability. Like a lot of the things that happen in the Whisper War and afterwards are very unpredictable. You would think that Rick and the others, of course, well, you want to think the good guys are going to win, but what happens with Alpha is very unpredictable, and then afterwards what happens in the Whisper War is also a little bit different than what you would think. And then also in this one as well too, like you'd think as part of the Whisper War, if Andrea was to be killed, it would probably be during the battle in the Whisper War. Probably would not be due to just some random zombie in the herd that the Whisperers send through. So it's just some really different stuff from what you would expect. The Saviors kind of being how they would, but it was kind of unexpected or how you would think that they would be. It was kind of unexpected to see Rick kill Sherry as well too, though, and it is a very very exciting trade. I do have to give it that. It is probably not one of the best ever. It's probably not, as good as No Way Out or maybe Whisper of War or some of the other best parts of The Walking Dead, like All Out War Part 1 or Part 2. But it is still really exciting. And as far as zombie apocalypse, zombies being scary, it certainly does make the zombies feel scary again, because you have the biggest female in the series, or if you could argue this, you could say Andrea was the biggest, or you could say maybe she's number 2 to Michonne, but that's a matter of preference, I suppose. One of the biggest women in the series being killed off in this one in very sad fashion. So really sad ending to it for sure. And then you get another one with Sherry, and you have the big zombie herd. Some good stuff between Rick and Negan in this one, though, which I do like to see, and Negan also saving Rick, which is really cool. And I do like to see that part. So it's kind of it's a great, obviously, Walking Dead is always good. It's always scary and everything like that. It's really sad in this part. And I think that maybe the ending of this volume, it might be the saddest for The Walking Dead. It might be the most emotionally just saddening part of The Walking Dead throughout the entire story. So throughout, all 28 volumes up to this point, I think the ending of this one is more sad than any other part. I really, really do. Especially for, Rick and fans of Andrea as well, too. Very, very sad. So the comic book version of Andrea, not the TV series version. We got to be specific there. So in terms of score, I guess for this one, I give this let's say like a 9.2. I wouldn't say like a 10. I don't think it's like one of the best they've ever done or anything like that. And it is really sad. So it's not one also that I probably want to reread that much unless I'm in a mood to just kind of feel sad to see Andrea go. But it is something. Andrea is such a big character all throughout, and kind of sucks that she's killed off at just the hand of or the mouth of a random walker as part of the zombie herd, but indirectly killed by the Whispers, I suppose, indirectly by the Whisper herd, so to speak. So that's it for this review, guys. It is a good volume and everything like that. Nothing against it. It's just such a damn downer to see Andrea go after all these volumes and all these years. That it makes me kind of sad to read it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this volume, this part of the series, 163 to 168. And if you like this review, please thumb it up below. You can also share and favorite. Check out some of the other reviews of the volumes, guys. Got them all on the channel, so you can check them all out. And that's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll get that Here's Negan on the way for you guys, so we can go ahead and go through that together, because that's definitely a fun one. As always, it's Trev, and I'm saying peace. See you guys tomorrow.